while the world is witnessing the full-scale genocide of the Zionist regime in Gaza. The leaders of many Muslim countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Jordan, Bahrain, Mauritania, and Djibouti have rejected Algeria's proposal to sever all diplomatic and economic ties with Israel and use it as leverage to end the war. From 1947 to 1995, the Arab League imposed a set of sanctions against Israel on 3 levels. But then, gradually, a significant portion of Israel's imports-exports became shared with these Islamic countries. In this video, we address 3 key questions. The first question is, what are the major trading partners of the Zionist regime in the world? On the export side, Israel's major partners are the United States, China, India, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Belgium, Turkey, Germany, Ireland, and France. Israel's main imports are from China, the United States, Switzerland, Germany, Turkey, Belgium, the Netherlands, Italy, the United Kingdom, and Hong Kong. The second question is, what are the major trading partners of the Zionist regime in the Islamic world?
Ergin uykulardan, kör gecelerden, bir sabah gelecek kardan aydınlık.
In the names of Israel's top 10 trading partners, the name of one Islamic country, Turkey, catches the eye. This country is one of the largest trading partners of the Zionist regime, accounting for 6.2% of imports and 3.6% of Israeli exports. Turkey alone provides about a quarter of the basic metals used in Israel's industry. Israel's textiles and apparel are also mainly supplied by China, Turkey, and other European countries.
Surprise announcement from the Oval Office of a peace deal between Bahrain and Israel. President Trump announced it just weeks
Among Islamic countries, after Turkey comes the United Arab Emirates. In September 2023, the UAE Embassy in Israel released a report titled 3 Years of Relations, which refers to $5.6 billion in bilateral trade and cases like 1 million Israeli visits to the UAE, the SEPA Free Trade Agreement, 106 weekly flights between the 2 countries, and the activity of over 70 Emirati companies in Israel as the achievements of the Abraham Accords. Thani al-Zayudi, the UAE Minister of Trade, recently stated, "We separate trade and economics from politics." Egypt, Azerbaijan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Indonesia, Turkmenistan, Malaysia, Bahrain, Tajikistan, and Tunisia are also among Israel's Muslim trading partners. Interestingly, some of these countries trade with the Zionist regime while not recognizing it and having zero diplomatic relations with it. As we can see, Israel is relatively dependent on trade with Muslim countries in many commercial areas. But when it comes to the key and strategic area of oil and energy, the picture is completely different and we see an absolute dependence. Israel imports about 220,000 barrels of crude oil per day, 60% of which comes from the 2 Muslim countries of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, while the rest is supplied by West African countries like Gabon. Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan are both members of the Islamic Cooperation and non-OPEC members of OPEC+. Almost half of Israel's oil imports are Kazakhstan's crude oil, which is shipped from the Russian port of Novorossiysk in the Black Sea. And Azerbaijan's oil reaches Israel via the Baku-Ceyhan pipeline in the Mediterranean. After oil and energy, the most important economic exchange between Israel and Muslim countries is weapons. In return for supplying Israel's oil, Azerbaijan receives billions of dollars worth of advanced weaponry from Israel. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, Azerbaijan imports about 70% of its armaments from Israel. A quarter of Israel's arms exports in 2022 were also shipped to other Arab countries. Does boycotting Israel by Muslim countries have any significant impact? The data we presented on the volume of trade between the Zionist regime and Muslim countries showed that the answer is yes. And the Zionist regime is heavily dependent on Muslim countries, especially in oil and energy. For this reason, the U.S., after playing a serious role in shaping the Abraham Accords and given Saudi Arabia's role in the region, especially after the Iran-Saudi agreement, the United States is strongly pursuing to normalize relations between the two countries, to the point that Blinken has referred to this as an important issue for American national security.
I've returned to the region to engage in intense diplomacy with our partners to try to help ensure that an attack like October 7th never happens again. And in doing so, that we forge a different future, a very different future.
The interests of the Zionist regime and its biggest ally, the United States, are heavily dependent, both diplomatically, security-wise, and economically, on this regime's relations with Muslim countries, especially the Arab powers of the Persian Gulf region. Algeria's proposal at the Riyadh emergency meeting, which was also raised by Iran's president, seems to be the only definitive and logical solution to cut the hand of the U.S. and Western governments' interference in regional equations, and undermine the foundations of the Zionist regime and hurt its vital arteries.